Hello, everybody. This is Ron Archer, obviously from Los Angeles, and want to welcome Ram Silverman from Golden Tickets on the call with us today. Ram, tell us a little about Golden Tickets and what you guys do.
All right. Well, thanks for having me today.
Hey, Reva.
We have our company, Golden Tickets, has been in business for coming up on 37 years. We've been selling tickets on the secondary market for long before, the likes of StubHub and Vivid Seats and SeatGeek and so on. So we've been around a long time. And good relationship with the travel industry, and Archer Travel has been a big part of our success over, the last, I don't know even know when we started working with you. Let's call it 5 or 6 years that we've been working with you. A couple things about us is, and because we cater to the travel agent world, we actually have a travel agent dedicated website, which is goldenticketsfortravelagents.com. And then we have also an affiliate program for travel agents. So essentially what we do is we give travel agents 2 ways to make money with us. They can use our travel agent dedicated website to purchase tickets for their clients, where they're being a full service agent and they're getting the credit card just like they would book a cruise or something else. And they would book the tickets for them on our site, and they would earn a 10% commission. We also have an affiliate program. But when you sign up for the affiliate program, we're going to give you your own personalized Golden Tickets website. And so, like in my case, if I were going to sign up, my site would be ramsilverman.goldentickets.com. And I would take that link and I would start sending it out to all my friends, my family, my customers. I would be posting it on social media. And what's great about that is that you don't have to turn into a ticket broker to make money with us. You can just market that link, send it out everywhere you're going to, and when your clients buy off of it, you're still going to earn a 10% commission. So either which way, whether you're booking the tickets or whether somebody is booking them and you're doing something else, you're still making money by selling tickets. And this is kind of a really good, for the people who are active in doing what we suggest people do and get on social media regularly, keep up with what some of the events that are going on and some of the events that you guys might want to promote. So now that could be, and I don't know so much about you UK travel agents, whether you're mostly booking UK customers that come to the US or primarily everything is sort of in your realm of things. But either which way, our main target is the US for sporting events and concerts and theater, but we do also handle all the Premier League games, Wimbledon, things going on at the O2 Arena, and things going on in Europe in general. So, whether it's the Champions League or French Open or other major things that are going on there, we do carry tickets for these events. And so, one thing I think, people ask all the time, okay, so why should I buy off of you guys? You've got sites like Viagogo, you have sites like StubHub and Vivid Seats and SeatGeek and this and that. And I primarily tell them that, the ticket prices are all going to be fairly similar. Sometimes we're going to be a little bit cheaper, sometimes we're going to be a little bit more, and sometimes we're going to be the same. Essentially, I tell people that we are competitive in the secondary market. So that doesn't always necessarily mean we're always going to be the cheapest. However, we're the only ones who do pay a 10% commission. And that means something for people who are wanting to make money, in our ticket space. But getting back to the thing that separates us, I think really comes down to customer service. And the fact that somebody can pick up the phone, call our office, speak to the owner of the company or to one of my associates, and not speak to a customer service rep who is reading off of a computer, does not have the ability to make a decision at the time they're on the call, and we do. So if you call and you speak to me or you speak to one of my associates, you're going to get an answer. It's not going to be, well, we need to speak to the higher ups or we need to check and get back with you. We're going to give you an answer. And that's the major difference. People have a choice of where they want to buy their tickets from. You can buy them from anywhere. But at the end of the day, a lot of people like knowing that they have somebody that they can count on, they can speak to, they can actually have a conversation with. You're not reading off of anything, and you and I could just talk like we're just having a regular conversation. Our goal is to give you good information. We're not like a hard sell company, and this goes back to 37 years ago when we started. I always wanted to be where we give you good information and you base your decision on whether to buy the tickets from the information we're giving. We're never going to call you up and say, oh, you better buy these right now, and because they're going fast or whatever. That's never really been our tack for the way we do business. We just want to inform you, give you good information. Hopefully our website, and now that there is a lot less talking on the phone, right, where an agent needs to call us, because a lot of the tickets are just bought offline. But for the times that you do need us, whether you live chat us or email us or call us, we're going to respond to you in a timely manner. Now, obviously there's a time difference. I think it's 6 or 7 hours for London or whatever. So just know that, when we come in the morning, one of our things to do is to respond to the live chats and to the emails and so on. But just know we're going to do that in a timely manner. So, I think that is like the biggest part, okay, of what separates us. And we feel like we're a good partner to, not just Archer, but all travel agents. I mean, we have a good relationship with other companies and individuals are in the travel space, and we like to think that we do a good job. So that,
let me mirror that, Rand. What I like about, as we are, a long-term legacy company as well, my folks started the business back in the 50s, we're all about relationships. And when I got a problem and I can pick up the phone and call you and get a problem solved, it's the same thing with us. We let the agents pick up the phone and call. I'll pick up any call from any agent at any time. And when you've got that kind of relationship, it facilitates the experience for the client, and it elevates it to a much better level. Are you guys carrying a World Cup tickets for 2026?
Yeah, so I was definitely was going to touch on that. So we're getting kind of excited here. For the World Cup, the draw for the World Cup is the first week of December. And once the draw happens, we'll have prices up on our site probably within a day or two. I mean, it's usually fairly quick. And, prices will be changing and prices are dynamic. And so, prices in next December, as some of the games get good, just kind of keep in mind that prices change, they go up, they go down. And, since they've added so many more games this World Cup, it's going to be interesting to see what really is going to happen and how many really good matchups are going to be and how it all works, being that we're in 3 different countries with this thing. But I gotta be honest with you. I think it's going to be a home run for a lot of the Archer agents. Sort of that, a lot of agents from Mexico, and now that we're talking to you in the UK, I really think this is going to be really good for a lot of people. So,
well, we're going to record this call, and we're also going to put it in the back office, the Travel Cafe. And, a lot of what you're saying is not just applicable to the UK, but it's applicable to our agents in Mexico, Latin America, United States, Australia. I mean, for where you guys are, since you're doing, programs worldwide, then, there's a lot of applicability for everything. So having you guys as a central focus is really good idea. Are you're doing F1, aren't you?
Yeah, we do F1.
You're doing F1, you're doing all the US sporting, the Final Four, the NBA finals, the World Series, all the US events. What about some of the other European or Mexico events? I know mostly that's soccer, but
Yeah, a couple things before we jump to that. I do want to say, I'd like the Masters. I'm leaving actually for Augusta tomorrow. I'll be there for about 6 weeks for the Masters. That's actually our company's biggest event out of the whole year, and people come from all over the world to attend to that event. So, and because the price of the badges are so expensive, that is a really good event to promote for all travel agencies because the commission is much larger.
do you actually have Sunday tickets for the Masters?
Oh yeah.
Really?
We sell hundreds.
Hard to get.
They're hard to get. You know what? I like to phrase it this way: it's not so much hard to get; they're expensive, and and that just really comes down to the supply and the demand of it. There's not that much supply, and of course, the price is going to go up when that happens. So we're getting pretty fired up for this year, and that is between that and the Super Bowl. Those two events are our company's two biggest events. Ron, you were asking about other European events. I mean, pretty much, if you go to our site, if the agents go to our site and they just type in the search bar, whether it's Formula One or F1 or any of the, Bundesliga games, in Germany and some of the other La Liga, we're not going to have maybe every game, but there are listings for, most of the Barcelona matches, some of the bigger matches in Germany. And so we do have a small footprint. It's not big, but it's getting bigger, is what I would tell you. And as we have more suppliers come on so I kind of really do want to explain a little bit how this works and where the inventory comes from. So we work with about 1,200 other resellers who upload to a platform. And we take that API and we put it into our website with a markup. So we're working sort of anonymously with all these other sellers. There's $2 billion or more worth of inventory on our site, and that is coming from this conglomeration of all these other brokers who are uploading to our site. So, for us personally, we do own season tickets for a lot of football teams and other events that are going on. But the inventory comes to us. It gets aggregated to our site. There's a markup that is how we make money. The percentage that you're making is really a split profit. I mean, we are essentially true partners in the sense that you are making the same amount of money on a sale that we are. And we feel good about that you guys are our partner. We're not giving you a token commission. This is a real commission. And so that's sort of where the inventory comes from and how it gets to our site. And a lot of that inventory, and this is why I go back to, when I was talking about, you're going to see a lot of the same inventory, whether you're on our site or StubHub or Viagogo or whatever. A lot of these brokers are uploading to the same place. And you're going to see the same inventory. And this is what goes back to what separates us. And that was the customer service piece and the fact that we do pay a commission. So, that's a little bit how that works.
So here's a question. Do you guys ever do any kind of packages with hotels and other parts of the event? Like Super Bowl has Super Bowl parties or that type of thing? Are you ever putting other components with it?
We had for 30 years, we actually had our own tour division. And then when COVID came along, we made a tough decision that we weren't going to reopen that department. That being said, you will find for certain events on our site, you will find some hotel packages. So for example, during the Super Bowl, yes, you could have booked hotels and the tickets, through our website. You're going to find parties and tailgate things going on. So it's not strictly tickets, it's primarily tickets. But there are some of the larger events, that you're going to see hotels and a few other things, but we're pretty much out of the actual where we're creating the tour packages that we used to. You know, it got down to that travel agents really could do a lot of the stuff on their own and do it online, and a lot of the stuff they really just didn't need us to do anymore.
Well, on the larger events, like the Super Bowl or World Cup or especially the Masters, if you want to go to a Masters event and you want to stay, in a hotel, you're 30 miles away from the golf course, that type of thing. So, sometimes that's advantageous if you can pick up, inventory closer to, to the event.
Well, the customer did call us, and it might not be listed on our site, but if a customer did call us for the Masters and said, hey, do you have any rooms in Augusta? Yeah, I do. I mean, I do have access through some of my old connections to do it. We weren't necessarily promoting it on our site. A lot of it is sort of more individually. I have to call the hotel, make sure what rooms they have, is it double doubles or kings and whatever. It was more of a hands-on call, but if somebody did call. But to your point, though, like for Super Bowl, because there was a shortage of rooms in New Orleans, and it's the rooms sell out. There is a market for buying and selling rooms, and you would have found a number of different hotel rooms, for 3 nights or 4 nights, and even some 2 nights. So yeah, it's not a whole lot of events, but there are some events where we are involved.
All right, great. Does anybody have any questions?
Let's get all right.
Well, I think you're pretty straightforward. I mean, we use a lot of Viator, but Viator is pretty much, for, theme parks and those types of things. So, with you, let's talk about theaters. Let's talk about, the entertainment type of tickets that you can, that you have. Are you doing, I know you're doing quite a bit in the United States. Are you doing much in Europe at all, in London or Paris?
You will find some London theater shows on our site. We are primarily more Broadway and more Broadway shows that are traveling within the U.S. So I still would encourage people to take a look. Maybe, I'm trying to be straightforward with everybody. You might find a source that is better suited for London Broadway or London theater, but we do definitely have some of the shows on there. And one other thing, this is just one thing that I tell travel agents. Natalie, I'm going to come to you. Don't forget. Don't think I forgot about you. But one thing. I just forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, somebody asked an interesting question. Do you have to put in a commission tracking form for golden tickets? Yes, you do, guys. You have to put a commission tracking form for anything, because that's how we at the Archer side marry that up with the commission to pay you.
All right, so Ron, this is a good time to explain sort of the way it works. So when we get an order, when you're placing an order off of the travel agent site, you obviously know you're placing that order. You're going to get a commission confirmation form from us after you place that order, just telling you, here's the order, total amount, the amount of commission, the invoice number, and all the things that you're going to need for your back office, you're going to get from us in an email. When we get an order from your affiliate site, you're actually not going to know that you're getting an order, because it could be anybody who's just buying off your affiliate site. And then we still will send you the same commission confirmation. So we're the ones who are letting you know, hey, you got this order, here's all the information that you need. And it all is pretty seamless. We keep track on our end, and you guys will keep track individually on your end. And then Archer gets the report, monthly as we go.
Yeah, which is to say, guys, that when you get an affiliate booking and somebody you don't know, you also, and let's talk about that for a second. You still have to put in the commission tracking form, because we won't know that you've had a booking. But when you've got an affiliate site and somebody's putting it out into the universe and they get a booking, how do you protect against credit card fraud?
How do we?
Yes.
So the agents have nothing to worry about. If there was fraud on our end, we have a company called Riskified that is built into our web site. So there are orders that get held up for fraud review where we actually have to take a look and for our company to make a decision whether or not to manually push that through. Like if there's any red flags with it, we might ask for ID. We might reach out to the customer and say, hey, this is the information we need before we're going to send it through. If an order gets sent through on our site automatically without fraud review, all of that is on Riskified. Like if there was a fraudulent order that came through, and it does happen. I mean, it does. And we're not on the hook. The agent's not on the hook. The only thing that would happen is the agent obviously would not get a commission for a stolen credit card order. So we will let you know. Typically on the reports, if we find out a couple months later, that there was a fraud on a particular order, we actually put something in the report that we send to you. But as far as agents having to worry about fraudulent credit cards, most of the people who are going to be booking the tickets through them are going to be customers they know. So they're not really going to need to worry about that at all. And to be honest with you, once they place the order, there's no responsibility on the agent at all. There would be.
Yeah, Tara, you asked a question. Can you get net pricing for agents? The answer is no, because the event tickets don't have a name on them, and we have to protect, again, with 18,500 agents in the program. We've got to protect against somebody. Yeah, it's for me, and they keep buying it net, and then basically they're buying outside of the relationship. So. You get your 10%, you get 80% of your 10%. So, the net price would be, 10% off. So, basically you've got to put it through the regular channels.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the way, he's taking, Golden Ticket is taking credit cards at gross. So you're not even sending it through eCompay or anything like that. It's a gross commission. We'll return the commission back to you.
And one thing that was kind of brought up to me yesterday was about how are you seeing the prices if you're in London? Now, I'm going to tell you two different things. First off, you are going to see the prices in US dollars. And we just redid our site this year. And unfortunately, the widget that was on there that would give you the estimated amount of whatever country you're in, that widget is no longer on our site. Now, believe it or not, I'm getting ready to redo our site again in this calendar year. And that widget and information for agents who are in different countries is going to be back on the site. It's a long story what's going on with web developers, but and I won't bore you with it. But just know that right now you're going to see prices in US dollars. In the future, you will be able to see it in whatever country you're in, and that's the plan.
Sharna, we used to have a commission I know on one of the other international pages we had a conversion widget. Do we have that in the UK at all?
There isn't one in the UK. Those that have been having to convert have just been using the daily bank.
Yeah, you guys are pretty adept at doing that anyway, because you're going cross-border so much.
Yes. Well,
Ram, we appreciate the time. I mean, thank you very much. You guys have been a great supplier for us, and we really appreciate jumping on board with us this morning.
You're welcome.
We will record this and put it in the back office. So this is great, not just for the UK, but for also United States and Mexico and Australia. So thank you all.
We had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi there. Sorry. So yesterday I signed up with Golden Ticket. And for your Formula One, because I've had over the weekend quite a few people that are interested in motorsports travel. So for the Formula One stuff, it comes up with, sorry, no results for this event. But also, do you do RC WRC rally events, because there's one coming up in Kenya this month, and I think it's Portugal next month. They've got pretty much something every month around the year.
Most likely, okay, so I'm going to answer your second question first. Most likely not on us carrying tickets. Sorry about that. I'm a Formula One. This is kind of what I was saying earlier. Well, we're not going to necessarily have tickets for every single race everywhere. We're just not. And part of that has to do the sellers who invest in buying tickets to resell them at a profit have to weigh out as a company, are we going to invest in Formula One tickets when, to decide, okay, am I going to be able to resell these? Am I going to make money? If I don't resell them, of course, I'm going to be losing money. And this is why it's not necessarily up to me personally. It's up to whether or not one reseller or a whole bunch of resellers decide to invest in buying into a particular event. That's sort of how it works. Now, one thing, and now I remember what I was going to say earlier, and one thing that I tell travel agents all the time, especially here in the States, is I always tell agents to check the primary seller first so that, there's no reason to really buy tickets on the secondary market if you can get them from the primary seller at face value without a markup or anything. And would that jeopardize the commission? Yes. But if I was taking care of my friends or a customer and I knew there was thousands of tickets left, say on Ticketmaster for a show that didn't sell out, you don't have to buy them from us, even though there might be inventory on our site. So one thing I've always prided myself about being honest with people and say, check the primary market first. And if they're not there, then that's when you come to the secondary market. Now, that being said, we're not the ticket police either. So that when you send out your affiliate link and somebody buys tickets off of there, and maybe they could have bought them cheaper on the primary seller, that's just the way it goes. We're not here to police everything. But for my conversation with you as a travel agent is, if you're checking for a customer, and like if you were here in the States, you might check Ticketmaster first and serve 90% of most, primary sales. And of course, if they didn't have something, then of course you would buy it on the secondary market. And just thinking out loud, like in London, of course, or for a lot of the Premier Leagues, those tickets are all sold out, just similar to how all the football games are sold out here. And essentially, you do have to buy them in the secondary market. So there is a huge need for the secondary market, and that's what we do. And just wanted to make that distinction between the primary and what we actually do.
Ron, can I ask a quick question on the back of that?
Yeah.
So if I put together a package for, say, Nairobi for next month for the WRC, and I go to a primary seller of the passes for the rally and package it up, I'm not going to get in trouble, am I?
No.
Excellent.
No, you won't get in trouble for it. Yeah, no, we don't have it, and you can package it, whatever. I leave that, for maybe Ron to answer whether or not, that's something that you should be doing. But for us, if we don't have it and you have a customer who's wanting it, yeah, you should, my attitude is, yeah, of course you would offer it to them if you can do it.
Ron, are you in agreement?
That you won't get in trouble for packaging something separately?
Well, if I purchase, say, the rally passes from a primary seller and add it to the accommodation and the flights that I'll be doing as well.
Okay. So let me be very, very clear so you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're an agent with Archer Evolution, you are not required to put every single purchase through Archer Evolution. In other words, you're an independent agent. You are running your own home-based travel business. If you have a relationship with a supplier that is going to be outside of our relationship, you are free to take advantage of that. Now, the downside of that is that you're not then covered by the errors and omissions insurance, and you don't have the clout of the company to fall back on if you have a problem with your booking. But if you want to buy either Formula One tickets or event tickets, or even stay at a hotel or these types of things, you're free to do that on your own. This is we are one tool in your tool chest. We're not the only tool. So and there are very strict laws within the United States that stipulate, what I can and cannot do. There's a law in the state of California called AB5, which tells me flat out I can't do anything with an independent contractor. Now, in the UK, we are responsible for all of the actions of all of the people that are in our program, as long as you're buying through our suppliers as a part of our relationship. When you depart from that and you go outside of that, then you are also running outside of the ABTA rules as well. So again, you're free to do that, but just know that that's a bit of a different relationship.
Thank you.
Not to be too legalistic.
Before I go,
Good to know where you stand.
No, you're all good.
sorry. I was just going to give everybody my email address if they wanted to email me directly, which is ram@goldentickets.com. So that if you ever just needed to get with me, happy to have you email me directly.
Great. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much, Ram. Like I said, we're going to record this and they're going to put it in the back office for everybody. But, keep doing what you're doing, guys. Thank you very much for all your hard work and your energy and effort. Sharna, I will be in touch with you, if not later this morning, probably tomorrow. I've got to run out for another meeting.
Sorry,
Ram,
guys.
so much.
Lorna here. Just quickly, Tara's asked a question and she said, do you do boxing and darts tickets?
Boxing and darts?
Darts, yes.
No, probably not. Most of the boxing is going to be for some of the major. We do, like here in the U.S., we do all the, all the major boxing matches. I don't know so much about in London. I don't think you're going to probably find a whole lot on there.
But do you do like boxing matches in Las Vegas, for instance?
Yes, we're going to have tickets for all that. And ultimate fighting, like all the, mixed martial arts and stuff, all those fights the UFC fights we will have for sure. Look, at the end of the day too, if you don't find something on our site and now you have my email address, you can still email me and say, hey, do you have access to this? I mean, I do have suppliers outside our chain of 1,300 that don't upload necessarily, and I am happy to take a look for you, just to send out a quick email. Hey, can we get these? And so just know that I'm happy to look for you. That's it.
That's great news. Thank you very much, Ram.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your week, and we will talk soon.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you again.
Thanks.